Higher taxes have been on the cards for a while. Finance Minister Malusi Gigaba needs to plug a $4 billion revenue shortfall. Last year, higher income earners felt the sting. This year, even low-income earners could bear the brunt if value-added taxes go up.
If you look at the international comparison, the international average is 19%. We're sitting at 14%. If you look at that, we sort of at a backtrack of the average. They will raise the VAT, get the additional income from the VAT system, but make sure they protect the poor at the same time. And how you can do that is if he collects, say, an increase of 1% in the VAT rate from 14 to 15, gives them a further 25 billion.
South Africans already struggling with rising costs are not happy.
Increasing VAT, I don't think it's going to be a good idea because people will suffer from that. People won't afford to buy food, so because as we know, our food, VAT is included in them.
I feel so bad because everything is going to be expensive. Ne? We've got children, they are at school. Ne? Now it's going to be very, very difficult. The people who are not working, ne? They are getting this grant. The money is going to be at food. You can't put anything on the table.
Tax we need to pay it, understand? But now it kills us, you see? The only thing which can get solved first is corruption. Understand? If corruption can get solved, you see, even us, we are people, we need to help also the government with the corruption.
Some economists believe there are less painful ways, like cutting back on expenditure.
If they go and push taxes up, which they say they're going to do, I think it's very problematic. We could end up in a year's time with even a bigger hole. I think what we need is much higher levels of growth. If we get high levels of growth, the tax income will be much, much higher, and then we need to be much more careful on our expenditure.
And there's no going back on the promise of free education. Former President Jacob Zuma announced it would go ahead this year. A further $3 billion is needed in the budget.
He's made that promise, and he said that the budget will have to allocate and find money for paying for first years who are going to enter the education system. So that irrespective is going to happen whether people like it or not.
It will be a tough balancing act for Gigaba. The minister will have to be careful not to impede economic growth by raising taxes too much. Sumitra Nydoo, CGTN, Johannesburg.